Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff.
I'm Baka.
What
Sup,
up?
guys?
Woo!
It's a Monday. How weird does this feel? Not only is it a Monday, but it's before noon.
But you know what?
Early
I feel
Monday.
better than I did yesterday. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, that's good.
I'm still ready to cough up a lung. But other than that,
You got
know,
another
It's
one.
not dying,
better.
and Bach is here because he had to work yesterday. So, we put
and
everything off.
my coffee shop that I normally go to is closed on Sunday, so I actually was able to
I didn't
pull off
know
some
that.
coffee this morning. Yeah,
I didn't know they were like Chick-fil-A.
yeah. So,
Anyway, what games you guys been playing this week? Because we got a lot of discussion.
Okay, I've been playing things on stream, like Dark Souls, Warframe. I played Diablo 2. I died in Diablo 2. I played a hardcore character. I died. It sucks. Whatever. Alright, next.
Rainbow Six, PUBG,
Oh, yeah, that too.
little bit of Minion Masters just to kind of do a few dailies here and there. And then... World of Warcraft. I've been doing runs with Brick.
It's
mounts
World
and
of
pets
Warcrack. Sorry, you said it wrong.
Shut up.
I've been playing LA Noire on the Switch, which surprisingly is a lot of fun on the Switch, and it even has like touch controls, so you can actually move some of the stuff
Oh.
around if you want to. It's kind of weird,
That is
but
kind of
fun at the same
weird.
time. Almost done with Destiny's campaign that they have so far, anyway. So I'm excited about that. I did finally hit level 20, and then last night watched the PUBG Invitational.
I didn't know they had one.
Yes, it was actually quite interesting on Twitch. They had it going, and I was watching it on my big screen 4K television upstairs, and enjoying that. It was pretty good. It was some good matches, and I figured out real quick that I need to learn to lean more in PUBG because I'm talking, these guys have this little lean thing down. But it was interesting to see because they're actually they're doing everything from the I guess because they created the server or whatever, so they can see where everybody is. And so you see this outline of yellow guys everywhere, and you forget the view that they're showing. The other guy that's shooting can't see that. So it's really cool the way it was set up, and it was they had a pretty good shoutcaster and stuff. So it was fun to watch.
Yeah, I think the game would be less fun if you could just open up your map and go, oh, cool, there's people over there. Let's go kill them.
Yeah, I think that's
Because
part
then
of
you
what
would
makes
get
that
those
game.
people who are like, I'm just going to go driving up in a car and run them over, just whatever.
It's part of the
Yeah.
magic, is to not know. I'm gonna go
the
in
fr-
this house, might die.
The French team AAA won.
Oh.
They ended up winning thanks
Go
to
Team
Cloud9
France.
basically, because Cloud9 ended up winning the last round and knocking out one of the ones that could have ended up beating AAA. So.
AAA against all authority.
Yeah, cool. I played City Skylines a lot this week. I ran into a new problem. Not my population problem where I hit the pop cap. But I've never done this before, but apparently you can put too many of your water intakes in the same area, and I drained my river. So my city ran out of water.
Holy
So,
shit.
yeah. Don't do that. I started trying to spread them out, but it was really hard to come back from that. Like, I think I might have to scrap that game because I ran them out of water.
Wow.
Sorry, everybody.
I didn't even
But
know
it-
that was a thing.
Well, it's weird. I put all my, like, this map has a large river that goes through the middle of it, and it kind of thins out in the place where you start your town at. And so I had all of my stuff right there, but on, like, the far side where the water was flowing and where the water was flowing from still had water. She was, like, right in the middle. I was like, I don't think it works like that, you guys.
It does.
Like-
If you pump more water out than you're putting back, then eventually it's going to create like a divot because you're pumping so much out of the middle.
Well, yeah, but I mean, still, it's not like that water
Okay.
wouldn't still flow into that.
That's true. But eventually, it's
Game mechanics
it's
said.
game mechanics.
So basically, it's like, and that.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
It's like a straw. You
So-
just suck it out of the middle and it shrinks down.
Had to figure out how to fix that. I don't know if I can come back from that. We'll see. My sister finished Final Fantasy 15, cried like the rest of us. No surprise there. And I played Warframe with Chicken, and he's like, okay, we can't customize too much right now because we haven't unlocked anything. And he's like, you ready to go, Griff, to the next quest? I was like, hang on a second. What about now? You ready to go? Hang on a second, I'm customizing my character. He's like, there's only so many colors. What are you doing? But you can color customize everything.
Oh my god. You only have a certain amount of colors too. I mean, good god, there's like 8 options.
Everything that you have on, you have 4 color options to change. I need to look at them all.
And for those of you who don't know, Griff is an artist. And so therefore...
I'm all artsy fartsy, and I will spend 16 hours in character customization.
If you let her. That's why you don't let her.
I know, he's like, come on.
That's why before you actually start the game, you go, okay, Grip, we're going to play the game. Sit here, make your character do all your customization options. And then when she is finally done, you do, okay, now we can play the game.
Yeah.
And by then, we probably could have had like 20 rounds of PUBG going.
I hate you guys so much. But my person thing is very pretty, so there.
Your person thing?
Well, I mean, it doesn't really have a gender in Warframe.
I guess that's true. It's just a weird thing, alien thing.
Yeah, you're just a thingy.
You're an alien thingy?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know what I am. It didn't give me a gender option, so it is what it is.
Your Genji model?
I'm Genji. Genji Hanzo. Combo. I use a sword and a bow, and that's it.
Uh-huh.
Gonzo.
First-person shooter.
That goes back to the alien part, see?
Takes off the helmet, has a little hook nose.
Well, you just got like a weird
hey, and she runs around with a chicken!
Yep. See, it's true.
Right? So funny.
All you Muppets fans will get that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, you guys want to talk about the next 16 hours worth of what we're going to talk about on the show today?
Hold on. I'm counting. I think we've got 17 tabs on one subject.
What's the subject? I haven't heard anything about it yet.
Most by far we've ever had.
Well, I mean, before we start on that, I mean, we could, I guess, go over, like, I think the 2 that are not related to the rest of it, which is Stardew Valley's getting a new single-player content.
Which is nice. Apparently
awesome
it's boats and stuff.
And, Russia uses game screenshot to try and claim U.S. is working with ISIS.
This is not even the first time, Russia. It's not.
Well,
Only this time
I think they've used, like, game screenshots for other things to go, look, we have evidence.
They used I think it was a Call of Duty screenshot before.
Yeah, it looks like Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. I remember that.
This is an indie game called AC-130 Gunship Simulator.
Okay, they had a similar part in...
Yeah, it's basically the infrared stuff, yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's the thing that Russia's doing, because Russia...
Here's the bad part about it. If they'd used Call of Duty, it would actually look better, because I've played that part of Call of Duty he was talking about. But this right here, this little simulator, doesn't even look close to real, where at least the one in Call of Duty is pretty close.
Well...
Yeah, I mean, like, look at the grass texture and stuff. I mean...
They've since pulled the image down, basically. They deleted it.
Shit.
But, I mean, seriously, Russia. It's not even, like, this... Russia's the same place, by the way, when Metal Gear Solid 5 came out. They used shots from that to show child soldiers. It's like, that's not real, though. You need to stop. You need to verify your news sources is what the fuck that is.
Do they not have this technology over...
I think that it's more that they're really heavy-handed on what their people are allowed to see, and they think they can just, kind of pull one over on them because it's more propaganda than news.
Yep, there's a lot of Russian streamers that stream stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I feel like I would have gone...
That's not who those news reports are aimed at. Those news reports are aimed at people that are more sheltered, that aren't going to notice that it's a video game and not real life.
Maybe so.
I'm sorry, but the comment down there, Japanese Olympic Committee convicted of doping in high jump scandal.
And it's a gif of an old game.
Yeah, and the dude goes to jump over the high bar and just skyrockets. And then goes over. And then comes back down. New world record. Congratulations. He's on steroids.
Oh my god.
Super, fucking rocket fuel steroids. Oh my god, I gotta stop watching it.
Stop watching GIFs.
It's like rocket fuel jumping. Alright, where did it go?
There is one more. There was actually 3 that were not related to the other one, it looks like. Yeah. Which is... Or 4, actually, sorry. One of my favorite games from about 3 years ago was This War of Mine. and it looks like the new series is getting a DLC, or getting a DLC for after 3 years old. Do you prefer this, or would you prefer a sequel to like This War of Mine?
Well, I think that if they're going to give you a DLC, it's not big enough to justify its own launch, which I think is fine. I think you need to pick and choose how you want to do that. And if it's going to be something that's small and feels like a DLC, don't try to sell it as a full game. Just do what they did. Release it as a DLC.
Yep.
Works for me.
Yes. And speaking of old games that got DLCs-ish, Titan Quest, a game that is 11 years old, an old Diablo 2 clone, got an expansion 11 years after the game's release. Which is
11 years might be a little much.
Well, there's one guy sitting in a basement somewhere going for 11 years trying to create it.
Nordic Games bought the Titan Quest franchise, and they decided they wanted to go ahead and do something for one of their new franchises now that they own it. So THQ Nordic decided to release a new expansion for it. And everybody's pretty happy about it.
Do you think this is they just kind of testing of the waters, if you will, to see if they can end up maybe eventually making a sequel to it, or
maybe. I mean, it seems like THQ Nordic is just kind of like dipping their feet in all of their new IPs and seeing what works and giving themselves projects on what to do and things like this. I mean, there isn't much. Titan Quest is an old game. The graphics are not that serious, so I'm pretty sure development was not that long on it. So they're like, oh, let's see how this works. Oh, this is pretty good. Let's go ahead and release an expansion for it. I think it looks pretty good, and everyone's like, well, cool. All right, cool. I'll buy it. So, I mean, no harm, no foul. Pretty good investment. Like
awesome sauce.
Yep. All right. So, the meat of today's show, I'm going to let everybody take a big guess as to what it is. Because it's only been all over everything all last week.
I'm going to guess Star Wars. Am I right?
You're totally wrong. It's actually Minecraft. Get out.
Minecraft.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to talk about Star Wars anymore nowadays? It's all about that Minecraft.
So, last week was not a very good week for EA or Star Wars in general. They posted the most downvoted comment in all of Reddit history.
By a
EA's
long
got that
shot.
going for them, I guess.
Like,
I mean...
Yeah, they're at close to 700,000
It's
now.
negative right? 675,000. By the way, the next lowest one was negative 21,000 votes. So, I mean, they beat that record by 650,000 downvotes.
It's like
Good
everybody
God.
on Reddit came to downvote this one thing,
Like,
regardless of what they really thought about it.
Also,
I'm pretty sure people made multiple accounts just to downvote.
Well, there's also bots for that people do that in Reddit stuff too. So.
That's true, but also a little tip is they own 7 of the 10 most downvoted comments in Reddit. 7 out of 10.
Well, basically, the whole controversy started by somebody posting a comment that was basically, seriously, I paid $80 and I can't play Vader. And EA responded to it in a... If you read it initially, it almost doesn't seem terribly inflammatory, but when you read it in context, it turns into a huge problem. Because basically they were upset, the initial writer was upset that they had paid for the full game, and they were still going to have to pay extra money to unlock Vader or spend a lot of time grinding credits so that they could get them in a loot box. Because loot boxes are what we're doing now.
Or buy them. Buy them straight out.
And EA said something to the effect of, the intent is to provide players with a sense of pride and accomplishment for unlocking different heroes. It's like, but you want me to buy the hero, not unlock them. There is no sense of pride and accomplishment in purchasing your loot crate credits. Because that's what it is. It's all loot crates.
There's the fact that you have the extra money to spend to unlock the characters, while the rest of these scrubs do not.
Yeah. So,
and just the killer part to me is, like, I don't mind having to play through a game in order to be able to unlock a character. In fact, if they had set it up to where they were like, and which actually the original Titanfall kind of did this too, where it didn't really have a campaign, right? But it had, it sort of had a storyline that you played online and went through your regular stuff, and if you did, it unlocked a Titan. And I would be fine if at the end of the campaign they said, okay, because you played through the campaign, you get this hero. That's an option. I don't have a problem with that. Old games used to do that. Here's a weapon that shows that or here's a banner, or here's a
The gear
piece of
stuff
armor.
chicken and I were talking about it in respects to Halo 3 because we went through individually to get all of the skulls so that we could get the Hayabusa armor, and then we went through it again with Red, and then we went through it again with Baka to do the same thing. Like, we played that game, the single player component of that game, several times just to get our friends' gear pieces, because the only way to unlock that was to play that. It's like, it's not a big deal. We'll do that, guys. That's what we want to do. We want to play your game. Jesus.
They
Why
just
is that
want you
so
to spend
hard?
money on their game and not play it. That's what I find
guess
so
so.
ludicrous. Like,
Game's not fun. Give us another $20. We'll make it a little bit more fun for you.
I mean, you can't even play the offline mode to
sounds so
earn
awful.
stuff.
It's like EA's becoming a prostitute now. At this
It really
point.
is.
It's like, you want us to turn that trick? $20. You want us to turn that trick? That's $500.
Oh god, I don't even want to know what that is.
Oh my god.
I have to quit life now.
I can't get that image out of my head mainly because Andrew Wilson's in charge of the thing, and all I see is this vampire guy coming up there just going, just making
I
a
don't
comment
know. We
about
don't.
the
We
tricks.
don't need. We don't need.
That's so
any more
funny.
visuals.
That just changed how E3 is going to be set up.
Oh
Each
my
tassel
god.
turn is $1.
Oh my god.
I just completely derailed now. I can't unsee. Oh god.
You can't unsee Andrew Wilson?
No. No, I just need to leave life now.
Good night, everybody.
Baka broke me. Oh.
Oh, that's funny.
But he's sadly right, though. If you don't like this, and one of the things that I didn't realize until I watched a video Jim Sterling put out is the kill cam when you die in Battlefront 2. The kill cam not only shows you who killed you, but they also give you a list of all of the gear in their loadout, so that if you haven't unlocked the shit that they just killed you with, you can see how badass it is, so that you can want to go spend more money.
But wait, hold on. Isn't that Activision's technology? Didn't they just trademark that?
You don't know anything about that. They're not putting in any of
If
their
I was
games.
Activision, I'd be suing their asses. Didn't this the thing? We put this on lockdown for a reason. Lockdown. In other words, we want to use it.
Maybe
later.
there's some under the table licensing that they just license it to EA, so that Activision could put out that statement a couple of weeks ago that said we are not currently using this in any of our games. It's like, well, no, it's because it's not our game. We're just testing it with EA.
Yeah.
We want to see the backlash of this first before we throw it out anywhere.
But I mean,
Oh, look at that.
And here's
think
the
that's
killer.
so
Like
shady.
EA has this downvoted comment on Reddit. So then they set up an AMA with dice.
which is even worse.
God,
Because-
throwing the humans into the shark pit.
Yeah, and so did not go over well.
Well, no, because they didn't answer any of the hard-hitting questions. They only answered, little fluffball questions, essentially, which is pretty shitty, but I'm pretty sure that was their intent, was to go in and try to answer the things that would make them sound good.
Yep.
Right.
But that's not the point. It's an AMA. It's an Ask Me Anything.
They
I guess
did
they
get
were allowed to
asked
ask.
anything.
You can
It's not to
they
say
can
it's not
ask
answer
anything. It doesn't mean you have to answer it.
Exactly. You
That's
don't have
true.
to answer everything.
I guess they, EA's all
I
about
mean,
how can we
technically they could
circumvent
ask,
the
"What's your
rules?"
home address?" It doesn't mean you're going to answer it.
True. Touche. Touche.
You know.
But it did not help their PR at all.
No.
It didn't. And then basically what ended up happening is they reduced the amount of crystals it would take to unlock
Credits.
Credits.
Crystal is what you
are-
buy with cash.
Yeah, crystals.
Yeah, crystals or cash, whatever. So the credits in order to be able to unlock the characters. So the amount of time, which was originally estimated at 40 hours, to unlock one character, was reduced. But was it really? Because what they ended up doing was changing basically that XP system that they had on. They ended up reducing.
Yep.
So it was.
So Vader costed less to buy, but at the same time you were earning less too. So
I don't even understand what they were trying to do.
Still
seriously,
40
do
hours.
they think people were just going to ignore it?
but that's the thing, is they announced that they were cutting the prices for the champions to buy, like Vader and Skywalker, but they did not mention that they were changing the credit drop rate.
What I'd like to know is this: with the World War II game that came out for Call of Duty,
Right.
for the first week it was double XP.
yeah, unannounced.
So did
accidental
they have
XP.
double XP and they just announced the lowering at the same time that their XP was dropping?
Do
You
you
would think that
actually
if you would have
think
said
that?
we were accidentally giving you double XP, that would have been better PR. But then again, this whole thing has been a PR nightmare.
Yeah, no shit. Like
so
they.
I don't know if they know how to save themselves at this point.
Oh.
And people are really, really mad about the game. Just because you're mad, let me go ahead and throw this out here. Yeah, this is shit that's happening. But there is no reason that you should be on Twitter making death threats to devs. None at all. You are a garbage human being if that is your retaliation for something that they, that's
goes
what
back
happened.
to the way you talk to any developer is with your pocketbook. That's it.
Well, you
Don't
can
buy
also-
the game.
You can criticize them too and tell them why you think their game isn't like good. I mean, it's okay to
But
have an
death threats
opinion,
are
but don't
not
don't
something that
do
you should
that.
do.
Yeah,
That is
becoming
never an
threatening is
avenue to
not,
take.
Not good. Don't do it. Don't be an ass.
But people are talking with their wallets, and there was a big, huge article about how Wall Street was concerned with EA's stock pricing, which started to drop, by the way.
Only slightly.
Shock. Yeah, it dropped slightly, but the physical sales copies for physical copies of Battlefront 2, 60% lower than for Battlefield 1.
In UK.
In the UK, yes.
Yes.
I imagine that's pretty similar in most places. I am gonna go out on a limb here and consider how many people were canceling pre-orders.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there were so many people canceling pre-orders just before the game came out that EA removed the refund button.
It's because they already, and I quote this before they revised it, took your money. And you'll have to go through a harder refund system before you can get your money back. Like,
Yeah.
they actually wrote, took your money, and they had to go and revise it to where it was like, before you paid for the game. We didn't take your money. We you just paid for it. Oops.
It's
Kind of like one of them, like, snake oil salesmen where it's like,
Yeah.
I got your money, time to book town.
Pretty much.
pretty much that's exactly
You really
what
want
it
it,
feels
you gotta
like.
track me down somewhere.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it was like. We took your money. I mean, you gave us your money, right? Yeah. Oh, shit. We're in trouble. Everybody pack up. They're going to change their name from, like, EA to, like, EB. Nobody will ever
Like,
know.
go
Go
down
TB.
No one will ever know.
I guess they have to go, like, directly to Plan C.
EC?
Yeah.
Well, they ended up removing the market, right?
The microtransactions are currently temporarily removed from the game while they rework the system, quote unquote.
Which part of that I think has to do with the fact that Belgium is now looking into this as being a gambling situation. And and supposedly there was a phone call that took place between the head of Disney and the head of EA.
No details on that, though.
No details on it, but supposedly there was one that had to do with that. And the last thing Disney's going to want is their name attached to something that's considered gambling.
Yes.
Because when it comes to PR and children,
Disney likes to distance itself from that kind of bullshit.
Yep. So I'll be very
my
interested to see on that one.
This is gonna be a weird thing to have play out, because this is one of the first, like, huge instances of players speaking with their pocketbooks, essentially. I mean, people are not buying the game, people are refunding the game, people are making a big stink about the microtransactions, which it was such a big deal that they ended up having to take out. It's a temporary thing that they've removed, which means they'll probably try to slip it back in at some point when the real fire has died down around this, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll change much of it, but right now, even with the microtransactions gone, you hit a point in gameplay where you are just grinding out trying to get credits to get loot boxes, and loot boxes are the only way you progress.
A crafting part. Well, actually, yeah, you don't get anything
Because you
for
have to
leveling
get
up.
loot boxes to get craft materials.
Wow. And everything is front loaded from all the reviews and everything I've read. Oh, by the way, I looked at the subreddit for Battlefront, and usually when games come out, it's all like lots of goody stuff, and good lord, that place is just a horrible mess. Like, everybody's
A
just
wasteland of
unhappy.
hate.
Yeah, but apparently the whole game is front loaded. Like, I think this guy spent 25-30 hours playing, and after that point, you're just stuck in this endless grind where you don't get anything. You get like 300 credits, and then you got to play like 15 games before you get a single loot box, and you get no rewards from that, or you get duplicates, and you're back at it. And it's like, all right, the game is fun, but you need some sort of progression and rewards to kind of dampen that experience. You got to make it fun, and when you're not
Well, in the
getting
arcade
anything,
mode, which is apparently a faster paced kind of gameplay style, you can only play so many hours of that, or so many matches before they stop your credit gain, because they want you to have to feel like you're playing the game, and they don't want people to exploit that credit system. And it's like, I could have just bought all of those credits. Why can't I play the mode that I like to play to get them?
Let me throw this comparison out here. Overwatch has an arcade mode too, okay? Like,
Yes.
they actually want you to play the arcade mode. The most popular arcade game, you get a free loot box. And then every 3 wins, you get a free loot box. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they give you free shit for just playing. You want to play arcade? Fine, go play arcade. We'll give you a shitload of rewards. I mean, you play
And you're
normal
still getting
games?
XP, and every time you level with your XP, you get another loot box anyway.
Exactly.
It's not like it cuts you out of any gains for playing different modes.
Because Overwatch just wants you to play the damn game. They don't give a damn on how you play it.
They want
Just
it.
play
They
it.
want it to feel
Hell,
like
if you're an
having-
Amazon Prime member, you get 5 free loot boxes.
Exactly.
that's true.
They want you to have fun while you're playing it. They don't want it to feel like a grind to get the stuff.
Exactly. That's why they come out with holiday stuff and different skins and things like that. Different heroes, different maps, everything for free. By the way, you don't have to pay for anything. The only thing you pay for after buying it is loot boxes if you want it, and it's all cosmetic.
The only way Battlefront 2 at this point is going to fix what's going on, they're basically going to have to rework the entire game, because the fact that they built the game specifically for
Yes.
this loot box grind nonsense. I mean, there's
Well, and
really no way around it. It's encoded into the game.
I'm glad that the hate at this point is being directed towards EA instead of DICE specifically, because DICE is incredibly 100% beholden to EA on how they had to design the game. EA is footing the bill for it, so they're the ones that are saying, this is how we want you to make it, and then the developers are essentially having to develop around the systems that their gods tell them that they have to. So while DICE is not entirely innocent here, because there are bugs galore in the game anyway, the main thing that everybody's upset about, which is the microtransaction system, is EA. It's sad that that's how it is, but I'm glad that the people that are actually responsible for that are the ones getting the shit for it.
Yeah.
Although I have a feeling that EA is going to try to put the blame on DICE in some form, fashion, or way.
Oh yeah,
And
they'll take
then-
them out back too and finish them off and get a new.
Yeah, I'd be like,
studio.
you didn't do things right.
But the problem is, EA, you're the ones that are telling them what to do. That's the problem. That's the problem here. It's not,
But they
it's
should have
not DICE.
understood their meaning behind those words.
Well, I mean, I have a feeling that EA is largely responsible for what happened to Mass Effect Andromeda. I have a feeling that,
They're also responsible for what happened with Sims 4 originally when it came out. And
Yep.
Sim City.
Yep.
I mean, there
It's all
seems to be a
about how
pattern
can
here,
we
EA,
make
and I think
people
people
angry.
have finally figured it out.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that kills me is you have it's one of those situations where you go the definition of insanity, trying to do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And EA continues to do the same shit over and over and over again,
It's
and
true.
expects everybody to go, they'll forget,
Yeah, they really expect that gamers have a limited memory, so that we'll forget after a couple of years that they did this awful thing. And it's like, this is too much back to back to back to forget, not to mention we're already, just before this happened, we were already making fun of them for buying Respawn, because we know that that's going to go downhill. The next
Or
Titanfall,
Respawn.
yeah, Titanfall will come out, and it will be full of microtransactions, and then they'll kill them because it won't do as well.
But I don't know that it will now. I mean, I think that because of this situation, I think it changes how EA has to... Because, okay, at one point, we all remember this, about 6 years ago, 5 to 6 years ago, EA was at an all-time low. When it came to public opinion, they were considered the worst company, everything that was going on.
I think there's still
Andrew
on that
Wilson... Well, here's the thing. Andrew Wilson ends up getting the job, and we're all like, oh, this looks like it's moving in a positive manner. They come out with some games.
Yep.
It's like, okay, cool. This shit happens,
Yep.
and now it's like they've got to be able to dig themselves out of this hole. There's
Actually,
no
a couple
way.
of years ago, I remember having a conversation with you on the podcast about how we felt like EA was trying to be better, and then
Yep.
they completely relapsed.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like you're talking about somebody with some sort of addiction problem, and they're like, "Oh, okay, they got help. Look, they're getting better. They're getting better." Relapse.
It sound like the head of EA is really has these ideas that are like being put out there on the games. It's more like, oh well, the rest of the board is decided we're going to do this, and you're just a puppet, and we're going to pull your strings.
Pretty much, it's the shareholders. They want more money.
Yep.
How do you make more money in this day and age? You
stop being stupid at this point. That's how.
Microtransactions. I mean, people download all these little mobile games, and they spend all this money on it. Why can't we do that in our Star Wars game?
I mean, if it was a free to play game with only the multiplayer, I guarantee a lot of people would be playing it right now, and they would have those people that would spend the money on it. They'd make more money that way. But instead, they try to sell it as a AAA title with the big ass Star Wars name on it, and then stick a pay to win aspect in there, and that fired the entire gaming community up because that shit just does not fly.
What I'm interested to see is what this does with the game that Visceral was originally working on. Because I think we all felt this is what they wanted to do with that game, is create maybe a Destiny-style game that was in the Star Wars universe and then put a bunch of microtransactions of some sort. I think that I think Disney's going to be on their ass the whole time. You can't do this to our games. You just can't. And I would not be surprised if Disney finds a way to get out of those contracts.
Oh, yeah. Disney's got like 50 billion lawyers. They would all work together to create some super lawyer.
50 billion.
I would be happy to see the Star Wars franchise go to another gaming developer at this point.
Yeah.
Who would you want to do that? Because you'd have to have it somebody that could actually publish the game on a large scale.
Either Bethesda or CD Projekt Red if you want an RPG-style Star Wars game. Something in that kind of... Whew.
Yeah, depending on the
CD Projekt Red's not a bad idea, but I don't know that Disney would look that direction.
Yeah. I don't think they would. I think, considering some of the things that are in Witcher, might turn them off of wanting to... there's a threesome, and there's a unicorn.
If they really want to upset EA and make them maybe learn a lesson, maybe... they could go, well, we're going to give it to Activision now. We're going to see what they can do with it.
No.
That's what I was thinking, too.
Yeah. No, trust me. That's not my first choice either on anything. But I think it would be funny as hell to watch them go, okay, we're going to give it to Activision and Blizzard.
Oh, Blizzard would definitely be able to help. But, I mean, if you're going to give it to somebody else who can make a shooter game, Activision is your best choice. And they actually have gotten better over the years. They released the same Call of Duty. Well, I guess it's 3 studios. They release one game every 3 years, which is not bad. They've got a system that works. You don't get constant... Well, okay, you got the same type of game, from each company, but they've listened to the community. We got World War II, super popular game.
I feel that people that want to play Star Wars want a good narrative, because that's what we're used to. We're used to a good plot line of some sort. Even though some of it does seem rehashed at times, it's still a world and something that we enjoy and all that. And I just feel like if you give it to somebody that does Call of Duty, that's going to be secondary. Like we just got.
Not if you have Blizzard on the side.
Instead of going to one company in particular, going, okay, well, we need a shooter-style Battlefront game. Activision, here you go. We need something more, story-driven RPG. Bethesda, here you go.
Yeah, but I think
licensing it out to everybody.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a bad way to go, really. Just giving each style something different. But I think with Battlefront, one of the biggest complaints we had about the first one was there was no campaign. Now you're going to give us a campaign that's half-assed because they're more worried about the multiplayer?
Yep.
Which is exactly what we got with this
honestly,
one anyway.
That's how most shooters are nowadays. They're just like, campaign, just kind of throw something quick together, generic bad guy.
But I don't think you could do that with Star Wars fans. No. I don't think Star Wars fans are like Call of Duty fans.
No,
I agree. I 100% agree. I think that you were going to get called out for taking the cheap way out, and which they did. People are upset about the campaign in this one, too. It's just that the microtransactions in the multiplayer are far more incendiary and way more, at the forefront of people's minds right now than the single-player aspect of the game. Because the single aspect of the game, they gave us a shitty subpar campaign, but they're not asking you to pay extra for it. They are asking you to pay extra to play the multiplayer.
Well, right. You're going to... Are they going to give you the DLC later for the campaign?
Yeah. So technically you are...
Assuming you get it, could go the way of Mass Effect Andromeda, which is whatever was planned for DLC in the future gets cut because they can't sell the game. Because the game's... Battlefront 2 is already on discount.
Okay, I don't think it's on permanent discount. I think it was just on sale.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I
They're
saw
trying
that.
to-
Considering
Sale
the
for
fact that it just
30%
came
off.
out, what, Friday?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, and it's already on discount and sale, that should send flags up in your head.
Ooh, that should
They're
send
trying to
major
do
flags
anything
up.
and everything they can to make as much money out of it.
Yep. Because they know they're trying to bait you in as quickly as they can to try and boost those early sales. They're like, hey, look, it's on sale. You can get it for like $40. You want to get it? You want to get it? Come on, just
You want to get
buy
it for $40?
And everyone's like, no.
I mean, that way it only costs you $80 to finally unlock Darth Vader.
Yeah, but what about all the other ones?
I would just like to point out how much none of the game companies learn from each other's mistakes. Because Activision got pegged with this big with Destiny, the original Destiny, because you had to pay for all of the expansions to get a full game experience, and everybody
Right.
bitched about how much it cost, which is why they tried to do better with Destiny 2. EA just totally didn't even listen to that. They're like, whatever, we're fine, we're gonna make some
We're a
money here.
beloved company. Everyone will just buy our things anyways.
Yeah, we've got the Star Wars franchise. Those people just throw out money. They're blind. No,
I wonder how.
we're not.
I wonder how this debacle, because that's what it is, it's a fucking
Yes.
catastrophe, is going to affect the development of a game that we all thought looked pretty cool at E3, which is Anthem, because it's BioWare's shooter RPG. It's basically BioWare's Destiny, but EA's publishing it because EA does everything with BioWare.
I think that as long as countries like Belgium and England and places like that are looking at loot boxes as a possibility of gambling, then it has to give these people a way to rethink. The backlash they've gotten from this one, if they do Anthem, they've got to do it right.
Yep,
Because
they
two
have to.
things. One, they're competing against one of the biggest shooters of all time, which is Destiny. And two is the fact they just fucked up majorly.
Yeah.
The biggest fuck up in gaming history might be this.
Well, and I think the pressure is seriously on for anything that EA does in the near future, and Anthem is going to be double that, because not only are we upset that EA fucked all this shit with Star Wars up, but we're upset with BioWare for what happened with Mass Effect Andromeda, so Anthem's got to knock it out of the park or nobody's going to believe in BioWare anymore either.
Right.
Granted, most of the reason we shouldn't believe in BioWare is probably because of their overlords at EA, but still, it's...
Yeah, but it
all
just,
of
at
this
some
sets
point it comes
precedent
to the...
for everything that comes after it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we've got to have some top-of-the-line, grade A content come out immediately following these kinds of fails, or else you're not going to be able to recover in this kind of climate. People are not going to want to spend their money with you no matter what you're putting out.
Yeah, I think this scenario can only help development of games at this point. I mean, you don't even want to risk putting anything like that inside of another one of your EA games, because I mean, if you get another situation
In
like
any
that,
game,
you're
every
done.
company should learn from this. Like, the way that it should work in order for things to be competitive, and ideally this is how it should work, is that every company learns from another company's mistakes. So everybody saw that annual franchises like Assassin's Creed were suffering, so people stopped doing that, except for Call of Duty, which we've already talked about is 3 separate studios releasing under the same umbrella, essentially.
Yeah,
so
it's,
that's a weird gray area.
That-
but in
that's
general,
just them-
people
their
started to learn
plan.
from that. It's like, the microtransactions are still new. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's still a new thing that we have, and everybody's still trying to learn how to use them. This should be example number 1 on everybody's future list of what not to do with them. You can put microtransactions in your game. We will pay for little cosmetic things and things like that. We will not pay to play your game after we've already purchased it.
We will not pay to win at your game after we've bought it.
Well, and here's the thing. We don't have a problem with map packs and things like that expand
It's
the
just-
life of your game.
It's become normal at this point. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
but
the
it's
map
like-
packs have been around since Halo and Call of Duty were in their, like, serious heydays.
I remember back in Halo 2, I had to go buy like a physical fucking Halo
disc
2
for the
map
map
disc
packs.
things. I was like, what is that, Halo 2? Oh wait, these are the maps. Oh hell yeah, I'm gonna get the maps for Halo 2 now. Like, you had to go to the store and buy your maps. Back in my day, it was a long time ago.
But I think the practice has become, let's give them a taste of what we can offer and then make them pay for the rest of it. And that's not how it should be. If we like your product, we will continue to purchase things for your product. But if you're selling us 25% of the whole, we're not going to buy the other 75% because we don't want to spend that much extra money. I guess, well, that's not true. I guess some people will. We saw that with the first Destiny. But
like a combination prostitute and crack dealer. It's just kind of a...
I'm not even. We're not even going to go into that one.
Got worse.
But like we've discussed,
like
we've discussed with Destiny, is that if Destiny is the game that you play all the time, the value is worth it. Like you can buy everything in Destiny, and you get your money's worth if you play Destiny regularly. Like,
but I guess the upside too is with Destiny is they never sold you power. They just sold you the rest of the story.
That is always the main critical thing. Don't ever sell power unless you're a freemium game. You know those.
But and it's funny because we made fun of what was it like $5 for an emote.
Yeah.
And because that's when Luke Smith came out and he was like, basically he was like, if you're willing to pay for it, then then we're gonna sell it to you. And it's like.
Yep.
But at least it was something that was like, I'm not paying for that.
Yeah, you have your own preference. I mean, you don't want to spend $5 on an emote. That's perfectly fine. Somebody who has it isn't going to fucking be able to beat you in a duel
beat
because
your ass.
They can emote at you. It's not going to make a difference. Well, I don't know. It might distract you.
I can fly around and you can't kill me. Pew pew pew.
Because I bought the jetpack upgrade for $15 extra.
And now I'm invincible. Bitch, you can't hurt me.
I think GameSpot dropped like $100 and something and still didn't unlock some of the top tier stuff. Like they spent a lot of extra money just to open loot boxes.
Yeah, they spent $100 on loot boxes and got like shit out of it. I think they had to spend. I think they spent $260 before they had enough to unlock Vader.
I still think it's funny that there's actual YouTube channels where people are buying the loot boxes and they just have a bot basically that opens it. And
Which
people sit there and watch that. Like, why are you sitting there watching somebody open a damn loot box?
I don't know. There's an audience for it.
It's the same reason that
because
people watch
they wish
unboxings.
they had the money to waste like that.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, let me see what we can get out of these loot boxes. The downside is that means that money has gone back into EA's ecosystem, so they can point to it and say, look, somebody's buying our loot boxes. It must not be that big of a deal.
Well, the good thing is currently they don't have that as an issue.
Yeah,
you can't buy them right now
because they removed them from the market, so you don't. Have
I wonder how long people will continue to play the game with the loot boxes removed and the grindy pace at which it now takes you to get stuff.
They should remove the cap from arcade mode now.
They should. I would agree with that. You should remove the cap from that, and I think. Without the loot boxes, without the ability to buy them, it should showcase how shitty you were about it to start with, because it's obvious at that point what the intent was. The intent was, we're going to make this as unpleasant as possible if you don't buy it. If you don't buy our extra shit. So you should buy our extra shit so that you can be cool and win.
I would so be like, and for Thanksgiving, to thank you, for those of you that have bought the game, triple XP all week long or whatever, it's like I would throw as much shit at everybody that's bought this game so more people want to buy it.
Yeah, but you only get that triple XP if you've bought 500 loot boxes.
I think the problem that you're going to run into now is they've run themselves so far into the ground that anything you do like that will be seen as pandering.
Yep.
But you know what?
Sometimes you just got to. I mean,
you're going to have to pander. I'm sorry. It's called good customer service, because right now their customer service sucks.
Yes.
Yes.
So what do you do in turn for that? I mean, if you just wanted to turn around and go, okay, everybody gets 200 loot boxes, because of us being shitty, here's your 200 loot boxes. Or
sorry, we suck so much. Here's credits.
Yeah, whatever.
Man, I mean, at this point, well, I mean, I know everyone already knows that it's basically EA, but during that Reddit thing, if I was one of the developers and I was the developer answering all the questions, I kind of would have just went out, you know what, throw EA under the bus and
but you
get
can't
up
do that.
And quit my job.
But that's the problem, is you can't do that. The whole company EA is paying the company bills, essentially. So you can't just throw your employer under the bus because you're going to be out on the street.
Fuck that.
The upside is if you were out on the street. Yeah, I was about to say, if you're out on the street because of that, I think other companies would almost want to buy, snatch you up, because not only is it, one, you're obviously a capable developer, but two, it makes them look really good, because look, EA kicked you to the curb, and now you're in this Tiny Tim situation, and we will swoop in and be the nice person to pick you up and save you because we believe in you. So
and they'll be like, God bless you, everyone.
Redemption story.
It turns into A Christmas Carol, but it's within the game community.
Little Jimmy can have 2 cups of porridge this year.
But I do think that would be an interesting turn of events, because I feel like it's kind of shitty to use something horrible like that as good PR for your own company, but it would be the best PR at this point. You got fired by EA because you worked for DICE and you said that it was all their fault. Well, don't worry. We'll pick you up here at Activision. Look how great we are here at Activision. You should buy our games. Like,
excuse me while we fire the people at Respawn and hire you.
No, Respawn. Respawn.
Well, EA is the one that actually owns them, but still, I mean, it's just like, oh my god. I don't understand why there's not more coming out from them other than hold on while we adjust some things.
Because they're trying to save face without openly admitting that they made a mistake, which is why they're like, oh, the prices for all of this stuff was based on all of the information that we got from the beta, and then we're definitely going to tweak these. Thank you for your feedback. We're super grateful that you're paying attention to us, and we will definitely do whatever will make you happy eventually. Like, they're trying to save face without saying they've made a mistake outright.
Well, but and here's the thing is sometimes you can do that. Sometimes you can get away with not saying my bad, right?
But they need to.
In this case, they need to go, we're sorry, we underestimated how much you hated these, whatever, you know? And adjust accordingly. We've got to adjust the game from a certain standpoint. We're going to remove these for now while we figure out the best way to do that and give you a system that you're going to enjoy. We're sorry. And in the meantime, here's 200 loot boxes. Whatever.
They need to call this one a wash and come out with a statement that is going to look detrimental to them, but in the long run can salvage some PR for them and do exactly what you said. We fucked up. We're sorry. This was a big mistake. Here's what we initially thought. We thought that this would be okay, but we now see the error of our ways. And then, like I said before, you're going to have some bang-on products for, like, the next 5 years for us to have our confidence restored.
And then that's the thing. They've got Star Wars projects currently sitting there that nobody's going to buy because of this.
Yep. I mean, this is going to scare people off of Star Wars from them specifically for a long time, and from their products in general for a long time. So they need to figure out some way to salvage this, and I think a little humility on their part and admitting that they fucked up would definitely go a long way. And I don't mean trot DICE out to say that they fucked up. I mean EA needs to say they fucked up.
Right.
Does not need to come from... I mean, the developers, it's obviously that DICE knows that things have gone south in a major way and that they are incredibly regretful about it, but EA's pretty much just powering on like no big deal. It's you guys. You need to get out here, get on this stage, and learn to be humble.
Yeah,
that's never gonna happen because EA is basically just full of the people who are like, money.
That's actually how they talk. It's their own language. It's weird.
Basically, yeah. But sir, people are throwing a fit. Money. I don't understand what the fuck you're saying. Money.
That's pretty much exactly how I feel that the communication is going.
All I can see is like
DICE
Muppets
and EA
in
right
nice
now.
fancy suits, just kind of money.
Yes, that's pretty much what they are. Chicken, I see that you have something to say.
I was looking at the subreddit, and we're talking about, like, we know the game is not a good game, but I wanted to look inside of the game and see what kind of specific aspects of it were poorly made. Like, this one, the main problem is that you cannot progress on your characters. Like, there is no progression in the game. Like, if you play, as this guy loves to play, a heavy is his person that he likes to play. You put 100 games into your specified class, and you get nothing out of your loot boxes. So you're still level 1. Like, you cannot progress in this game. The whole progression system is tied to RNG. Like, you do not get anything for being committed to a specific style of play. And that's a major problem with a game like this. If you're going to put RPG aspects, I'll use that word loosely, RPG aspects into a PvP game, you need to reward those people who have mains that they can progress with their characters. You can't just tie it all to RNG, because that's also another thing that they're tricking you into buying more crates so that, spend more money, back to the loot crate thing. And it's poorly designed. Like, I mean, every time you level up, you should get a crate with that guy's specified stuff in it. Like Heroes of the Storm does, once you level up a character to 5, you get a character loot box, which has stuff in that loot box for that character. 10, same thing. 15, same thing. If you commit to a character, you get rewards for that character. That's proper progression. It's not completely RNG. It's a terrible system, and they need to completely redesign progression for characters in that game.
Well, with Heroes of the Storm, though, your stuff is related to that character, but it's still not power, though.
Exactly.
Because Blizzard knows better than to sell power in loot boxes.
But even if there was power, rewarded for leveling up that character to a certain level, that's fine.
It would be for that character.
Exactly. Like, it shows that you've put time into this character. You're level 50 with this character, and you have some super good cards because you're level 50 with him. You're good with
But
him.
it's because it's designed for you to go, well, I can't get this stuff through regular play. I need more loot boxes. Let me buy some.
Yep.
I mean, it's geared towards getting you into the marketplace.
Exactly.
I'm wondering, because I'm thinking about this now, because like if you read the articles, it says EA is the one that temporarily removed the loot boxes, and of course, it's being assumed that because of Disney calling them, that's part of the reason why.
I would assume.
But what about this? Do you think they might have removed them so people can progress further in with actual gameplay and get closer to unlocking some of these heroes, and then they're going to bring them back out later on in maybe just a little bit of a different format? And
they'll definitely be back.
Oh, yeah, they'll be back, but in a much different format. If they're smart, they'll put the shard loot boxes as cosmetics only. You can only get cosmetics out of the money, this loot box that you can buy with money, and then have all the other loot boxes only available to be bought with credits in the game. Which is still a terrible progression system, to have your progression system based on RNG, because it's not a progression system.
Well, and the fact that you can get duplicates too is pretty shitty. I mean, it happens a lot in Overwatch, but again, cosmetics. But if I get 6 upgrades of the same weapon in 6 consecutive loot boxes...
For a character you don't play...
Yeah, for a character that you don't play. And I get that you're getting credits because it's a duplicate, but still, it feels pretty lackluster as far as we want you to feel like you've achieved something when you open these loot boxes. Which, first of all, is bullshit because I can buy them. Or I could. And secondly, is bullshit because it doesn't feel like any sort of achievement when I open it and I get fucking 2 duplicates of something I already had, which I get will net me some extra credits, but at the same time, it doesn't
the extra
feel...
credit you get is like hardly anything compared to what everything costs.
Yeah.
They should give you crafting parts instead of credits. The credits you're just cycling back into loot boxes, and that's it. Crafting parts
that's why they do it, though.
But I mean, crafting parts you can use them to, make the stuff that you want. Another issue that people have is this game makes it extremely difficult to play with your friends. Like, extremely difficult. Like, you know how we play Splatoon, Baka?
Yeah.
This guy, him and his 4 friends, it took them like 20 minutes to get their group together, finally, without it bugging out and someone getting kicked, and they finally got themselves together, and then they get into the game, and they're all split up. You can't play with your friends because it's... the game is based on a wave spawn kind of thing, so when you die, you get set into queue with a bunch of other people, and then you spawn with those people. If you find your friend, good, that's cool, but you don't get the bonuses that you would get for playing with your group.
Your squad mates instead of your friends. Yeah, which I think is
so
stupid.
weird.
They want you to play as like squads because that's part of.
They want you to play as squads, but they set up a system that doesn't allow you to play as squads.
They want you to play with the squads that they designed, not your friends.
Yeah.
Oh, that's stupid.
So instead of being like, you and your friends are going to form a squad or whatever, and you can go in and, coordinate and mess around, it's just going to be like, you go to this squad, you go to that squad, you go to the other side.
Pretty much. And apparently there's no voice chat either, so...
And here's your spin, by the way. This is how this is...
Hold on. If there is no voice chat, how the fuck do you work in a squad? Squad is all about goddamn communication.
Yeah, that is one of the things that I saw. Point. People were like, it's 2017 in a fucking shooter game. How the fuck do you not have voice at this point, especially on a console? How? Yep. I may be
stupid.
wrong, so if I'm wrong, correct me.
Here's their spin on. I guarantee you, this is what they're gonna say if you say something about the squad, which is, we wanted this game to be as social as possible. So we've set it up to where we create the groups for you so you can interact with individuals that are outside of your group.
But
That's
you can't
if
even
they have
fucking
voice
interact
chat.
with them.
Yeah, you can't. If there's no voice chat in your game, you can't
I mean,
interact
what do you do?
with these
Like
individuals.
jump around and like move about to try to like fucking bumblebees to communicate?
It's like the emotes, right, from Destiny. Like you make one that's like point, make another one that's wave. Hey, go over
It's like
there.
you're 300 yards away, Bill. I don't know what the fuck you're pointing at.
Okay, so yes, there is no in-game voice chat.
Okay, that's stupid.
Like,
That's so stupid. That's the most stupid thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
that's
That's
like,
how stupid it
I'm
is.
sorry, but that's no offense, Nintendo. I love you guys, but that's Nintendo stupid right there. Why would you create a game like that and not offer,
Some way to communicate.
especially in a squad-based game?
Yeah.
Come
Well,
on.
It's okay to me if they said, we want you to team up with your friends and be able to communicate, and most people don't use the communication that's actually in the game anyway, so we
Yeah,
eliminated
they use
that.
party chat.
But if...
No. It should always just still be an option, regardless if people actually communicate or whatever. I mean, yeah, no, that should still be an option.
I think it most definitely doubly should in this case, considering that they don't pair you with your friends.
That's what I'm
group.
saying. Like, the fact that they're not pairing you with your friends should be, like, the main reason why.
You guys just get out there and shoot at things at random.
Good
It's like
luck.
real stormtroopers. That's why they never hit anything, because they can't fucking talk to each other.
Wow. I wish
And
I
now
had
we
my
know.
friends.
Apparently,
Now
when
we
you put the little
know.
stormtrooper helmet on, it is like soundproof and you cannot hear anything.
Can't hear
So-
anything, can barely see out of it.
Exactly. That's why they suck so bad.
I mean,
now
there are
we
just
know.
so many issues with this poor game, and it's a Star
Well,
Wars
and there's
game.
bugs too. It's not
Oh.
just that there's issues with that.
Yep,
Like there,
the TIE
there's,
Raiders.
Oh.
Yeah, the TIE ships vibrating uncontrollably. Jim Sterling put out a video for it, and even if you don't like him, it's worth watching that specific video. But I mean, he was having lag issues where his character would be running and then stop, and then run forward again, and things like that. It's just
that is a very, very common issue in multiplayer online games. It's like very common. It's because you drop a packet when you're connected to the servers, and that happens in a lot of games.
Yeah, but for it to
PUBG
happen-
used to do that a lot for me.
Yeah, I mean, but usually you get better. I mean, if EA's got this much money in Star Wars behind it, you think their servers would be like top fucking line,
godly.
ready to go, and then now you're sitting there going,
Maybe
Oh.
you have to give them more money to get better.
oh my
But,
god.
but the other thing about it is, too, if they've got 60% less player base,
yep.
then theoretically it shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
I'm
true,
just
you're
throwing that
so
out there.
Jesus.
You got half the people that you
I
expect.
mean, imagine if they
last
added
game.
in that other 60%. Everyone would be like, step, pause,
It's like a
Rubber
new
bands
dance.
everywhere. I mean, it would just be.
Maybe they had. They're using the ARC servers. Maybe that's what the problem.
I mean,
Oh my
maybe
God.
they're cutting corners on the servers too. I mean,
They're cutting corners on
it's like
everything.
we don't need like 30 servers. We only need like 5, right?
Right?
Oh my God! Stop.
Let's put everybody together. All right, you guy, you're in charge of the server. We're just breaking it off your Xbox or your PC. We
You
don't
gotta
actually have
host, like,
servers.
100,000 people off of it. You think you can handle it? Here's an ice bucket to set your system on just in case it gets a little hot.
I think it will be interesting watching how this one develops, because this is going to set precedent for a lot of games that have microtransactions and loot boxes specifically in the future.
Oh, absolutely.
Because stuff that's in production right now already has those systems in place.
And they're
Now-
going to take a long, hard look at that. Just
Yeah,
in
this is
case.
going to make people go back and reevaluate how they have implemented microtransactions in their game. Hopefully, assuming that people are smart enough to learn from somebody else's mistakes before they, bankrupt themselves doing the same thing. So, maybe this one failure will be a boon to the industry as a whole.
Hopefully.
hope.
Something like this had to happen eventually. Everybody knows
And,
that.
to be honest, thinking about it, if you were going to pick a company that was going to make this kind of misstep in this fashion, EA and Activision are the two that would be neck and neck for me to have chosen beforehand.
It was
who gonna
EA
fuck
for me
this
the
up.
whole way through. Like you saw a slow progression of this. It was only a matter of time before they decided to put it into a multiplayer game. Like, I mean, Assassin's Creed games, you could pay money for equipment, but that was single player, so it didn't matter. Like, you could pay to win your
You
own
weren't
game,
ruining
and that's
somebody
fine.
else's experience.
But it was only a matter of time before they was like, let's see what happens if we stick this in a multiplayer game. And then the whole fucking thing exploded. It's like, oh, okay, that was a bad idea. Shit. Okay.
Kind of like they dipped their toe into the water with the Assassin's Creed game and went, alright, I think we can do this. And then just dive bombed right in.
But those are different companies. Ubisoft is Assassin's Creed. EA is the one that's responsible for this.
Yeah, but they get, well, okay, fair enough. But they kept seeing companies do that in single-player
Yes.
games, and they're like, maybe we can
Well,
jump
EA
in
did it with
too.
single-player games. Look at The Sims 3 and The Sims 4 and all of the extra content that you can buy specifically from their stores.
All right.
Chicken asked me last week. He's like, I'm looking at Steam. Guess how much Sims 3 is for all of the expansion packs and everything.
For everything in
Sims
Sims 3, it's 8
came
years
out,
old.
Yeah, 8 years ago, and I was like $50, $60, because it's got
I guess
a good,
35. Man, were we off?
It's got a good chunk of, like, it's got, like, 10 expansion packs and, like, 8 stuff packs and things like that. And it was all of it together. It was, like, $400 and something.
$397 for the entire Sims 3 collection. Like, even with that shit
Sims
on
3.
sale, you're still paying $200
Not
if
to
everything is
mention-
50% off.
Not to mention, with that's the content that they sold in boxes. You can go to the Sims store and continue to buy more than that. Stuff that did not come in the stuff packs and the expansion boxes. So they had already been testing it out, and it had done okay. I know, I have a friend that purchased almost everything from the Sims store, which I said
That's
was a bad
ludicrous.
thing, because you can get freebie Sim mods everywhere. But whatever, to each their own. She bought it through the store, and I would never ask her how much she spent, because I don't want to be that much more angry at her. Because I would be. I would be incredibly disappointed to know the total amount of money that she has spent on Sims 3.
I'm sure someone has done the math behind that, and it's probably like a ridiculous amount. It's probably going to be like...
I hear chicken Googling
well,
right now.
Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if... given everything on there, it'll actually probably be more than the 2K amount for the Star Wars Battlefront stuff.
Oh my god.
What? Your face is crazy. What is it? If you're listening to this on audio, he's making crazy faces.
Holy
making
shit.
crazy.
I took the
And
average
his
of the
face is
first...
frozen in like this shock mode.
I took the average of the first 50 results, and it came to 233.5 sim points. A sim point is worth 10 cents. So everything on the Sims 3 store costs approximately, hold on to your butts, $74,486.50. As for the DLC
Christ,
the
I
game
could buy a house
itself,
with that.
it costs $439.81.
Oh,
For the game
my
itself. The Sim store
God.
is worth over $74,000. Like, holy shit, I have
Wow.
goosebumps thinking about...
Now I'm really worried about how much she spent on the Sims store, because here's the deal, is they chunk it down like that. Because you buy, it's like Riot, where they sell you Riot points. You buy a bunch of Sim points, so 500 points, but things cost anywhere from like 35 Sim points up to 500 Sim points, so you've got leftovers probably because you bought 2 or 3 small things, and then you're like, but I just don't have enough for that other thing I want, so you buy another 500.
God damn, that is so much
Oh, it
money.
hurts me to think about.
Oh.
But see, EA's already been dipping their feet into that pond for quite some time, and they found out it worked really well.
Yeah, but to be fair, on Sims, majority of that stuff doesn't actually affect gameplay other than when you add pet or whatever, right?
That was
Yeah,
the
but
next point
that's
I was
an
going to make.
exorbitant amount of money. I mean, for
But it's
anything, that's
it's
a
in
house.
single-player setting. That's true, but it's in a single-player setting where it doesn't change gameplay, whereas now they're like, let's put it in multiplayer, and let's sell power, too.
Wow. I now have a new fucking way to think about a company nickel and diming you. Nickel and diming you for a fucking house.
It makes me wonder, like, I want to go through the people that created Machine Zone, that had Game of War, and then whoever it was that created Clash of Clans and all that stuff, and find out if any of those actually worked for EA at some point.
Or if they work for them now.
Yeah,
might
no
have
kidding.
purchased them.
God almighty.
that is just...
Oh my god.
I'm a little flabbergasted that I didn't expect. I was expecting, $1,000, $2,000, over
I was expecting, like,
74,000.
$5-6 grand.
Woo.
Maybe.
Is that including Sims 3 and Sims 4? And does it include the games and stuff packs?
That was before Sims 4 was released. That total was
Okay.
before.
Oh
Sims
my
4
god, that
released.
was before. Okay.
That's why I looked at the
Okay.
Steam comment and everyone's like, that's exactly why I'm not going to buy Sims 4. Yeah.
That
no
and
shit.
emotions.
I mean, good
EA,
lord.
stop. Stop, EA. Stop fucking everything up. Everything you touch dies. Stop touching things.
God.
Well, maybe they think that like everything that they touch turns to gold, like the king. But it's really
I mean,
killing it.
If gold actually looks like a dead, dusty corpse, then sure.
Well, I mean, if they touch a person and they turn to gold, that technically they're dead. But EA's wealthier.
Yeah, but it's fool's gold.
Yep, that too.
Pyrite.
It turns him into pirate. Look at all this fucking gold. Someone walks in. That's not real gold. What are you talking about? It's my real gold. Get out.
Goes to ground
Okay.
and turns into more gold. It's like, okay, I guess you can stay.
I hate to make us stop this super fun discussion because it is really fun, but Baka has to be at work at 1 o'clock and it is almost 12:30.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we should probably go so that he can go to work.
Anything else before we close it out, then?
There's
No,
a lot of stuff that
no.
we want to say. We just can't. So no,
still,
Oak, do your
I'm
whatever.
Still stuck at the 74 grand.
We appreciate everybody hangs out with us each and every Respawn. You can check us out at Twitter at InfiniteResPC. Check me out personally at MDB Oaktree. You can check out Griff.
At Griff Slineham.
Check out Chicken.
At Elite Chicken 313. You can also check
Check
out
out-
my Twitch, twitch.tv/Elite Chicken 313. Stream every day as long as I can, so feel free to drop by, say hi, follow, and all that
You
good
just
stuff.
cut Baka off for that. That's
Hell yeah.
rude.
I gotta throw mine in there, like my whole little section.
All right.
And check out Baka.
At Baka Pickle, who does not stream but occasionally joins Chicken.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go.
Definitely. He hangs out all the time, so feel free to drop by for him.
Make sure you go to our YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/Infinite Respawn. You can also check out our website, too, infiniterespawn.com. Go on there and join forums, hang out, all that good stuff. Other than that, I think we're good to go. Right? Good to go?
Good to go.
All right. For Infinite Respawn, I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff.
I'm Chicken.
Baka.
See ya.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.